closer.
It's okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Ballava Girivaradhare Yasanandana Vraja Janarajana Yamona Tira Anachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Ballava Girivaradhare Yasodhanandana Vraja Janarajana Yamona Tera Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Ballava Girivaradhari Yasodhanandana Vraja Janarajana Yamona Tera Vanachari Yamuna Tero Vanachari Yamuna Tera Vanachari Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Kila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskita Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Vidaye Sri Chaitanya Manovistan Tapitanya Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadal Mayam Dadati Padantika Vandeham Sri Guru Sutta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrahatam Sahagana Raghunath Vitantam Sashivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tata Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Risavano Sute Devi Pranamani Hari Priye Panchakalpa Taruvya Chakripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaichanavevyo Namo Namaham. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 28, Kapila Instruction on Devotional Service. We read today text 43. We start by the word in Sanskrit. If you want to repeat it. Svayonishu Bolo. It's no border, no. No border. Okay, I read alone. Svayonishu in form of wood, yata as Jyotihi fire, ekam one, nana differently, pratiyate is exhibited, yoninam of different womb, gunavai smayat from the different condition of the mood. Tata, so. Atma, the spirit soul. Prakrito, in the material nature. Stitha, situated. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. As fire is exhibited in different form of wood, so under different condition of the mood of material nature, the pure spirit soul manifests himself in different bodies. Purport. It is to be understood that the body is designated. Prakriti is an interaction by the three moods of material nature. And according to this mood, someone has a small body and someone has a very large body. For example, the fire in a big piece of wood appears very big, and in a stick the fire appears small. Actually, the quality of fire is the same everywhere, but the manifestation of material nature is such that according to the fuel, the fire appears bigger and smaller. Similarly, the soul in the universal body, although of the same quality, is different from the soul in the small body. The small particles of soul are just like a spark of the large soul. The greatest soul is the super soul, but the super soul is quantitatively different from the small soul. The super soul is described in the Vedic literature as the supplier of all necessity of the small soul. Nityo Nityanam. One who understands this distinction between the super soul and the individual soul is above lamentation and is in a peaceful position. When the small soul thinks himself quantitatively as big as the larger soul, he is under the spell of Maya. For that is no is constitutional position. No one can become the greater soul simply by mental speculation. The smallness or greatness of different soul is described in the Vara Purana as Svamsa Vivinamsa. The Svamsa soul is the supreme personality of Godhead, and the Vivinam soul, or small particle, are eternally small particle. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Mama Ivan So Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. The small living entity are eternal part and parcel, and therefore it is not possible for them to be quantitatively as great as the super soul. It's important to understand this point. When one understands this distinction between the super soul and the individual soul, is above lamentation and is in a peaceful position. So if you understand, first it's important to, it's necessary to get one realization. We are soul. Everybody knows, say, yes, I know that. I know. I repeated that every day. But maybe one black snake coming here like that, everybody forget what the Shastra say. Because it's necessary realization, not only the information. So, it's also important first to realize I am soul. And another point important is to realize the soul do nothing. In the conditional state, the soul do nothing. Some devotees get difficulty to understand that. Because from many years think, I do that, I will do that, I planning to do, I do. But one day you read Bhagavad Gita, for example, and where Krishna say, the soul do nothing. So if for many years you think, I do that, and you see the soul do nothing, sometimes when people see that, then they start to, yes, but start to see he cannot accept I mistake during many years. But the soul do nothing. In the conditional state, the soul do nothing. It's important to understand. When we realize this point, we have no any more lamentation, and we have peaceful position. You feel more free, more peaceful when you realize it. I do anything. So Srila Prabhupada say the activity of the being is a combination between the supreme whim with the cosmic manifestation. Lord, there will be more difficult maybe to understand. Cosmic manifestation. You imagine the planet. How is that? The cosmic manifestation means the interaction of the 24 elements. They can be everywhere. It's in the Mahatattva. Is this interaction of the four. Even here it's also the material element in this yantra. With this city, because the body is like one city. So, in the Bhagavad Gita cities, chapter 13, I think it's 31. 13. Bhagavad Gita 30. Chapter 13, slok text 30. Prakritaya cha karmani kriyamanani sarvasaha yaha pasyati tatatmanam akartaram sapasyati. One who can see that all activity are performed by the body, which is created of material nature, and see that the self do nothing, actually see. Not everybody can realize this, but can realize it by the mercy of the Paramatma. But there is percent of devotees who get difficulty to understand. The soul do nothing. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, he say, in the conditioned state, the soul practically don't exist. When I read that first time, I said, that is look like Buddhist, Sunyavadi philosophy. But he don't say don't exist. He say practically don't exist. Because the soul in the conditional state have no any practice. The soul maintain alive the body. And by influence of the gunas, the body, the guna influenced the subtle body. There is the mind, and the mind is responsible of all body activities. So, prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvajaha ahankara vibunatma kartaham iti manyate. One thing I do with reality is the gunas. In this 24, in the interaction of the 24 elements, is also the gunas. So Krishna touch again, this is in the slok, in the text 30 of chapter 13. Again, in the 32, 31, 32, Anaditvam nirgunatvam paramatmayam avyayaha sarirasopikante nakaroti nalipyate. Those with the vision of eternity can see that the imperishable soul is transcendental, eternal, and beyond the mood of nature. Despite contact with the material body, O Arjuna, the soul neither do anything, nor is entangled. It's important to take note of this slokas after reading, because to understand that need the mercy of the Lord, because everything, when we realize this point, everything is the mercy of the Lord. We depend completely on the mercy of the Lord. For that, in the chapter 18, slok 14, I think is 18, chapter 18, slok 14 maybe, just a moment. 18:14. Yeah. The Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, slok 14. Adishtanam tata karta karanam cha pritak vivam vivida cha pritak chesta daivam chaivatra panchanam. The place of the action, the body, the performer, the various sense, Sisi Raghunath Valeva Suvadra Ki Jai, Gauranitai Ki Jai. The place of action, the body, the performer, the various sense, the many different kind of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul, these are the 5 factors of the action. The 5 factors of the action. So in the second, you see the performer. But in the purport, in the third line, you see Karta. Karta, the doer, but the doer appear big wing coat. You can see Bhagavad Gita. The doer appear big wing coat because the doer do nothing. When you realize at this point, you feel more peaceful. Maybe that will take time to realize at this point. Everything depends on the mercy of the Lord. Our great free will. Our great free will is very small. It's very, very small. You can decide or serve Bhakti Devi or serve Maya Devi. This is our freedom. It's not good news, no? Maybe not good news. The soul do nothing. Also, chapter 14, chapter 14, yeah, 514. Again, the same argument. 514, Bhagavad Gita. Nadate kasyachit papam nachaiva sukritam vibhuhu agyanena vritam jnanam tenamuyanti shantavaham. No. Excuse me. Narkatritvam na karmani lokasya srishati prabhu na karma pala samyogan vabhavasta pravartate. The embodied spirit, master of the city of his body, do not create activity, nor do induce people to act, nor do create the fruit of action. All this is enacted by the mood of material nature. So again, the soul do nothing. $327. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvacha ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer of activity that are in actually carried out by the 3 moods of material nature. The soul is passive performer. Passive performer. This is also difficult to understand. Passive performer is opposite. Passive because do nothing. We read just now 4 or 5 slokas where explain the soul do nothing. The soul maintain alive the body. Passive because do nothing. In performer because is the impetus of the activity. Here is one battery, okay? I take out the battery and that is good for nothing. So that is alive because there is one battery. You take out the battery of one car, you cannot go anywhere. When the soul is not anymore here, the soul is like the battery. When the soul is not anymore here, the body margea. Yeah? It's alive just because I am here. If I go away, कुछ नहीं करता. The body don't do anymore anything, nothing. So a passive performer. The Bhagavati explained that also in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, maybe I found here. Srimad Bhagavatam 3:27-19. 3:27, 27, 27. 27, 3:27, 19, 3:27, 19. There the Bhagavati say, and say even though he is the passive performer of all activity, how can there be freedom for the soul as long as material nature acts on in him and bind him? She asked. And the purport Srila Prabhupada say, although the living entity desire freedom from the contamination of matter, he is not give release. Actually, as soon as a living entity put himself under the control of the mood of material nature, his acts are influenced by the quality of material nature, and he becomes passive. It is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Prakriti Kriyamanani Gunai Karmani. We read that before. The living entity acts according to the quality of mood of material nature. He falsely thinks that he is acting, but unfortunately, he is passive. So we read, I think, 6 slokas. Now we have just to release at this point. The soul do nothing. And there is also in Srimad Bhagavatam 7:2-45. 7 Bhagavatam 7:2-45. 7, 2:45. 7:2-45. In the body, the most important substance is the life air. But that also is neither the listener nor the speaker. Beyond even the life air, the soul also can do nothing. For the super soul is actually the director in cooperation with the individual soul. The super soul conducting the activity of the body is different from the body and living force. Yeah. So we understand the soul do nothing. So I take this micro and I break the micro, and you will ask me, why you break the micro? I say, I don't break anything. I am soul. I do nothing. We have habit to speak according with the eyes see, material eyes see. These pujari do very good service. But in reality, the living entity do, yes, because when you say living entity, it's not only the soul. When one, Prabhupada explained that, when one say the living entity, we included mind and consciousness. So the consciousness is the really identity of everyone. For that, Srila Prabhupada founded International Society for Krishna Consciousness. The consciousness is it. We work in the consciousness. But the consciousness is individual. The consciousness is individual. That means the consciousness can be material or spiritual. But the soul, even if it's in Maya, even if it's covered, the soul is always spiritual. And who direct the intelligence is the consciousness. If your consciousness is material, you will use the intelligence to enjoy sense gratification, make money, business. You use the intelligence in this way because your intelligence is material. If the consciousness is spiritual, you will use the intelligence to do spiritual progress. So the consciousness is individual. The consciousness is the really identity of everyone. And the mind is responsible of all body activities. Why we born again? The responsible is the mind. Thinking, feeling, and willing. In other language, in English we say thinking, feeling, and willing. But in other language, coming from Latin, like Portuguese, Italian, Spanish, there we see in the Prabhupada book, thinking, feeling, and desire. It's the same because it's one synonym, desire, willing. It is the soul have capacity to desire. But in the conditioned state, who desire is the mind. And the mind follow two processes, sankalpa and vikalpa. I want it. I don't want it. From the 8 children, you see, the children, one of the first words the children use is no. Vikalpa. No. I don't want it. Sankalpa and Vikalpa. So for that, by Bhakti Yoga, we purify the subtle body. And like that, the mind become a very good friend. The mind become a very good friend. You don't need anymore to put the alarm at 4 o'clock to come in Mongolati. Yeah, don't need anymore alarm. Because the mind say, hey, 4 o'clock, maybe before. Become a friend, become a spiritualizer, the mind. And when the subtle, because the problem is always there in the subtle body. By practice of Bhakti Yoga, the subtle body is dissolved. It's not anymore in the... That is 3:25:33. 3:25:33. I remember in Sanskrit, but no in English. Jarayantiya Shuyoko Sham Nigirnam Analo Yataha. 3:25:33. It's maybe we have here. Yeah, you have here. We have here. 3:25:33. 33. Someone write here with a pen. This is it's no good to do that. The Bhagavatam make writing. This is it's no Shudra, it's less a Shudra. 33. Never do that. But to respect the Bhagavatam. You cannot take one pen and write in the Bhagavatam. Okay, Jarayantiya Shuyoko Jam Nigirnam Analo Yataha. Bhakti, devotional service, dissolve the subtle body of the living entity without separate effort. Just a fire in the stomach digest all that we eat. Devotional service dissolve the subtle body of the living entity without separate effort. Like the fire in the stomach, digest everything what we eat. So by practice of Bhakti Yoga, there is no any more problem when the subtle body is dissolved. Because the problem is there, false ego. The Mahatattva is the totality of the false ego. And that is reflected in every individual conditioned soul. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So today we get one very difficult information. The soul do nothing. Maybe it's no argument for Bhakta program, but devotees give me, I ask what is the slok today, and then give me this slok of today, that told specifically about the the soul activity, the soul position. Who realizes that he can surrender. He's completely surrendered. Who realizes, I am soul and I do not. Everything depends on the mercy of the super soul. In my perception, what I see, what I hear, what I feel, what I desire, and also my will is directed by the Paramatma. This is also writing in Bhagavatam. Maybe I have here. Yeah, I think it's this one. 7:2:45. 7:2:45. In the body, the most important substance is the life air. But that also is neither the listener nor the speaker. We read before, yes. Beyond even the life air, the soul also can do nothing. For the super soul is actually the director in cooperation with the individual soul. The super soul conducting the activity of the body is different from the body and living force. Krishna is the best friend. Okay? And when someone wants to worship Bhakti Devi, no Maya Devi, he help. We get help. He is the remember and the forgetter. Sometimes he make you forget something. And sometimes he make you remember something. And what I see, what I hear, what I feel, what I desire is always directed by the Paramatma. So when one realizes this point, the false ego must to go to the how do you call the shop of a medical shop. Because he loses energy. He becomes weak, the false. The false ego has the rot very, very deep and very strong. But by spiritual realization like that, then become weak. In one moment he disappeared. We read just now. Jarayantia Shuyoko Shramnigirdam Manaloya Taha. He disappeared together with the mind and material intelligence. And so there you, even Bhakta Pepe coming and told you, go to clean in the garden there. First you accepted. And after you think, how can I do that? Surrender is not to shave your head, shave the head and put tilak, and make obeisance. This is not surrender. Surrender means to realize it. Our activity is not independent. When you reach there, okay, you surrender. In this moment, you understand, you realize that Krishna acts by his devotees. If one devotee come now and told me, hey, go away now before, so I take my luggage and go away. I don't ask why or what, no. Because I understand Krishna won, I go away. You understand Krishna is everything is the mercy of Krishna. Everything. In this moment you completely surrender. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so one question. What I do here now? What I do here? Can you tell me? What I do here? No, question. You told me. I ask you. I ask the question. What I do here?
Like you were telling about how...
No, don't need it. Okay.
You were telling about how the soul does anything, but actually does not do
Yeah,
anything.
but what I do here?
But actually, the Lord itself, like you were telling, like He gives an intelligence, He gives the capacity.
I am just witness.
Yes.
I am just witness. That in my perception is all that. Also that is. There, everything in my perception. I am a witness. I am a witness of this situation. Nothing else. What you hear about is the body act by the supreme will. The activity of the being, Prabhupada said, the activity of the being is the composition between the supreme will with the interaction of the 24 elements. I am witness, just that. I do nothing. Believing. So what is the question you say?
Like you were telling about, like actually the soul, the person does nothing. So the question is, why does he suffer if he does nothing?
The false ego suffer, the soul don't suffer. The false ego suffering. The soul don't suffering. The Arias Thakur, the Muslim bring him in something like 23 different places and beat him, to kill him. And he understood they want to kill him. And then beat him and then beat him. And he don't feel anything. The soul is present, Prabhupada say, the soul is present in every pore. Pore? The pore of the skin. And then beat him. And he was very sorry because they want to kill him, but he cannot die. So he say for them, excuse me, but I agreed to die now, but I cannot. And he don't feel anything. Because you have many examples. Jesus cried. Maybe you have some information about. I got when I was children. Jesus Christ was in the cross there, and with the cloth here, and the blood in the body, and he asked God. He said, "Please forgive these people. They don't know what they do." That is transcendental. So who's suffering is the false ego. You get now, you win now in the lottery, you win $10 million. Wow! Very happy. Few hours after, you are not anymore happy, or few minutes after. It's always the false ego. Satchitananda. This is the reality. Satchitananda. They are the happiness increasing. Never. There is no limit. Vardha. Sanskrit say Vardha. Vardha means increasing. Ananda Buddhi Vardha Nam. Increasing. The happiness, increasing. Never stop. Material world, sometimes you see news of that and that, you say, wow, good chance, these people, good karma. But they go up and down. The reality, the really happiness is not like that. Never go down. Ananda Buddhi Vardhanam. Yeah. So the realization we get, for example, this argument we read today, the soul do nothing. The realization you can get, I cannot give you realization. The Paramatma can give you realization. I can read that. The Paramatma give you the realization. When he's satisfied with your service, with speciality your behavior, that is very important, the behavior. When he is satisfied, he give you realization. One time I looked for one answer during 4 or 5 years. And I asked sometime one devotee, another devotee, there was no the answer. No. Then give me, but no. After 4 or 5 years, one time, I remember I was in Mayapur, and one friend of mine is also Srila Prabhupada disciple. He crossed there, and I said, hey, excuse me. He said, I go to one meeting. Can I go with you? I have something to ask you. Okay, come, he said. And we walked together. And I asked, I don't remember which was the question, many years ago. And I asked the question, so he stopped, and he gave me the answer, very short and very clear. Wow! I wait 4 or 5 years for this answer. Who gave me that? The Paramatma. He acted by his devotee. So, it's no question. Yeah, okay, question is good, but the realization will give you the Paramatma when he is satisfied. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare. Devotees told me from 8 to 9. So I took 3 more. 3 minutes past 9. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Gur Premanande. Thank you for your attention. Hare Krishna.
Let us thank Maharaj for so philosophically and so exhaustively bringing out so many quotations from Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, telling us as to how the soul is a passive performer and actually just a desirer, and practically everything else is just a witness for everything else that is happening in this world. So we are very grateful to Maharaj for taking out valuable time for us. Let us thank Maharaj. We want to thank loudly chanting Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.